Hi guys, Fergal here from Alba Physiotherapy. So as we have our walking and running technique, now it's about putting it into practice. And as we start becoming more active, it's important that we control our bodies and we sort of prepare our bodies for the vigorous exercise or for that little bit more strain to come. So we really do that by warming our bodies up and getting the muscles and the joints ready for that little bit of exercise. So looking at a nice little exercise for walkers or anyone that's out there walking, we're looking at our technique to start off. So as we were talking about in one of the previous videos, is that we try and land on the heel strike, and we want to try and land with our straight knee. So landing with that straight knee, and then we try and bring our hip over the knee and the ankle. So a nice little exercise that we can do to try and facilitate that is going through, just stepping through, engaging through the hips, and then coming back from that position. Again, heel strike, knee and hip over the ankle, and coming back. So we can do 10 to 15 reps on that side. As we're doing that, we're bracing them through our core, keeping our back straight, keeping that straight line from shoulder down to ankle, and everything else in line. 10 to 15 reps on each side for that one. And again, just doing it both on each side from there. Also, we want to just do a little bit of just gentle stretching for our four main muscle groups of our legs: our calves, our hamstrings, our quadriceps, and also for our glutes. So a few dynamics little stretches that we can do from there. So for our calf, you can use the wall, just leaning forward against the wall and just slightly just pulsing forward. Again, 5 to 10 reps on each side will be sufficient enough. So as in that movement, you want to keep your heel on the ground, and as you want it to, keep your knee straight as it's coming forward from that position. For the hamstring then, we're just sitting back onto our heel. We can keep our back straight and we're just brushing our hands like we would against the floor. Again, going 4 to 5 repetitions on each side. We'll get the legs fully stretched out for that little bit of exercise. For the legs then, for the quads, just doing a slight little lunge forward, keeping the back leg straight, coming onto the toes, keeping the heel off the ground, and just gently pulsing forward from that position. So like that we did with the last one, we can just do a little bit of a lean forward and back, and again about 10 on each side should be sufficient enough to get the legs warmed up enough for the exercise. Lastly, for the glutes, if we have a chair, we can sit back onto the chair, bring our foot over on our opposite knee and sitting back into that movement to get our stretch in across and through the glutes in the back. So getting the stretch, keeping the back straight, feel a little bit of the stretch from there, 3 to 4 seconds, and again about 5 reps on each side. For our going in towards more of our running, we want to do something a little bit more through our upper body and through our back. So along with those stretches, we can also add in a few arm movements. So looking at just doing just gentle arm swings, going 10 in one direction, 10 in the opposite direction, just opening up the chest and opening up the arms. Like we talked about with the importance of running technique, we had the importance of our alignment and our posture. So opening up the chest that little bit more allows that range of motion for our shoulder. So we want to try and get a little bit of movement going through our thoracic spine to allow that. Hands out in front and just going to our end of range, and again we can do 10 to each side to work in through loosening up the back and from that position. We can also do a few actual warm-up exercises for the legs. So we can do a few squats. Again, keeping back, just sitting back into those movements, just gentle squats from there. Trying to just get those muscles working through the glutes. Trying to cycle the heels back, so a few heel flicks going through that movement. Very, very important to bring up that glute involvement, and I suppose with the landing of the foot close to our centre of gravity then as well. Following up then with just a little bit of just gentle marching on the spot. 30 seconds, up to a minute, up to 2 minutes. Whatever it is, just to sort of get your body fully warmed up. And then if we are getting out into a run, even starting off with a fast-paced walk, up to 2 minutes, just to get our heart rates up that little bit more. And again, it's just allowing ourselves to prepare our bodies for the exercise that's to come. So that's looking at just a little bit of a warm-up technique for walking. adding in a few exercises and a few dynamic stretches before getting into running. Only 5 to 10 minutes, just to sort of allow the bodies to prepare itself for the exercise. And that's very, very important to try and prevent any little injuries or aches or pains from creeping in when we start increasing our times and our distances with our running over the next few weeks. So good luck, put that into practice. If you have any questions at all, feel free to get in touch with us here at Alba Physio, and we'll be glad to help. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.